tuned into Life is a Sacred Journey. Every week, we bring a new perspective to aging and caregiving. Here is your host, Micheal Pope.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. I am a little discombobulated this morning, and I apologize for that. I am experiencing, if you look really close at the camera, if you look at this side of my face versus this side of my face, this is this is a tooth, or actually two teeth. I was eating, I'm going to say it, candy, and crunched down and cracked both of the teeth, and both of the fillings came out. They probably were already compromised because yours truly hasn't been to a dentist, and I'm not going to say for how long. So excuse me, because my tongue is rattling around in my mouth, because when I put pressure on it from the top, it doesn't hurt as much. So I get to see the dentist at 8:00 on Monday. So just keep me in your thoughts over the next couple of days. I'm good in the morning because I put heat on it and all of that. But as the day wears on, the pain gets worse and worse. And for those of you who know me well, I don't do medications unless it's, antibiotics or something like that. I just don't do it. I've always found it to have bad after effects with me. So keep me in your thoughts, friends. Keep me in your thoughts, because I'm not really sure how this is all going to work out going forward. So I'm going to pull you up on my cell phone so that I can see who's here this morning. Thank you all so much for joining us on Life is a Sacred Journey. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Just let me know who's there. Talk to me. Let me know. Hit me up. All right. So let's get started. It is one of Pondering number 43. And for those of you who have not been with us before, this is Life is a Sacred Journey. We are a platform that really wants to celebrate caregiving, aging, and just the whole idea that we can live together better as a humanity than we can apart. And I am your host, Micheal Pope. And then we have all our people out in the virtual neighborhood who come every Friday at 8 a.m. So I want to thank you all for coming, for being here, and supporting Life is a Sacred Journey. So let's get started. Today, I've been thinking a lot, or over the last thinking a lot about the storms. Some of you know, at Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay, we had the first wave of the storms created major problems in our basement. All the way to the elevator shaft, came up to the first floor filled with water because the sump pumps weren't working. And this was happening all over the state. Up north, we found snow coming down in massive quickness. And while the folks there are used to snow, not in that way. And then the other was down in, I know Nancy's area, Nancy Redding, who is a follower of Life is a Sacred Journey in the Merced area. That whole area is still experiencing water damage, loss of jobs, because it's a farming country, part of the farming part of our state, loss of jobs, homes that have been flooded. And the one thing about water damage that I've learned now here at Alzheimer's Services, because as the executive director, CEO, leader, I'm responsible for making it right down there in the basement. It just, water will go wherever water can go. And it will come up through the floor. It will come through the walls. It will go to places that you didn't even think water would go in a building. You understand more about the grade of your building, and it's just amazing. And then how quickly the water goes rancid and begins to create mold. All of those things. Also, not putting hot air in that space, but cool. We've been running fans downstairs since February. Yes, after the first flood, 24 hours a day. Because again, the walls got so saturated. We have a dehumidifier that almost every 48 hours, we're dumping water out of it because of the rain that continues to happen. And the walls have already sucked in so much water that they're holding it. So get a dehumidifier, particularly if you're a person like me who has asthma. or you have COPD or any other upper respiratory, because you've got to get the moisture out of the air. It is so, so important. So get the moisture out of the air, dehumidify. We have the one that we got was an air purifier as well as a dehumidifier. And so it's really doing a bang up job, and a little pricey, but it was well worth it. So think about those things, because environmental safety in the home is very important. The air you breathe is important, because there's all these things floating around all the time. And then now with the rain, those of us who have allergies, once the summer comes and everything begins to dry out, it's going to be a really high allergy season with pollen and growth and molds, all the great things of nature. But for those of us that have these incredible things going on, especially with asthma and COPD, that it really affects us. We start to have allergy symptoms. So those are just some things that I've learned. Sandbags are so important. I didn't realize how magnificent. Tarp, buying big pieces of wonderful tarp. They're expensive. It's like $24.99 for a big, huge tarp. But when you have to cover a portal hole in your ceiling or something like that, so and on the outside, of course, so water won't drip in if you have any spaces or cracks, because again, in a storm, I don't care how much you don't see water coming down when it normally rains. In a storm, you're going to see water coming in where you least expect it. So you just waterproof your home, storm-proof your home. If you have a tree limb that is close to your house, cut that baby. You know, I have lots of beautiful trees in my backyard, but yeah, cut that baby. Because at the end of the day, if it cracks and it falls, it's definitely going to fall on your home and create a problem. So safety of your environment is extremely important. I want to talk about some of the things. There's a group of videos that will be going out in multiple languages. English and Spanish is what I know of, about storm safety. You can go on your website and look up California storm safety, and there's 2 videos and then some directions and things to do. But I'm going to just kind of remind you of the things that you need to put together, because also power outages, you know, how many of us have generators in our home? Okay, got a little tiny portable generator. It's got little solar panels for, you can put it outside if you're, go camping and whatever, but invest in a little tiny generator, something that will get your family through your electrical needs. The one I have, also I could plug my refrigerator in it if I had to. Just prepare yourself, because we're learning. I don't know if you have, if it hasn't dawned on you yet, but it's dawned on me. We had a pandemic that made us stay in our homes and not go outside. What? Oh my goodness. Then we went from that. Now we have rain is not rain anymore. It's storm. I was driving home in whatever night it was where we had all that rain. And I'm here to tell you, I could hardly see. The rain was coming down so sheeted, like sheets. The windshield wipers were going like this. But then the oncoming traffic, and I think somebody needs to talk to the automobile industry, because not every car has or automobile or transportation vehicle has those lights that are so bright they almost look like the person has their high beams on, and it hits you right in the middle of your eye, or if they're behind you, it hits in the rear view mirror. And I even flipped my rear view mirror to kind of diffuse it a little bit. No good. Particularly in a rainstorm. So we need to, I began to realize, yes, maybe my daughter could drive in that without it bothering her. But for me, as I age in myself with cataracts and all these things, it's dangerous. So how do we fix that so that we're not telling people who are aging in place and getting older and all of that, oh, guess what? You can no longer go out at night. How many of your friends that are older that say, oh, no, I don't drive at night anymore? A lot of good stuff happens at night, not only just bad stuff, but you can go to the theater. I know you can go to matinees and all of that, but I work still. So so again, let's think about how we advocate for things, because let's not just get to the point where we're experiencing it and then it becomes a problem for us. And then we're like, let's kind of think globally about the life experience and what we're going to need from birth all the way to the end. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm so happy that you're with us this morning. So here are some of the things that you want to have. I have one of those. I have plastic, the sandwich bags, the big ones, 1 gallon ones. And then you can put it in another plastic container. Now I'm understanding the need for the plastic containers versus the cardboard file boxes. Now, what I did is I bought some big plastic containers and I put the cardboard boxes inside of it so I could keep things separately. I actually got rid of a lot of stuff, but definitely put the most important things in a plastic bag, 1 gallon bag, freezer bag, so that you can, keep them from getting wet. So these are the things that you want to put in that bag. You want to put any important documents that you might need. I always believe you should have your passport in there, because if you have to run and you can't get back into your house or wherever you keep it, then you're without something that, if it's a major thing where you have to move from place to place to place, sometimes, and at some point, you never know. You might have to get on a plane and get out of California. I don't know. But put your passport somewhere that's safe and that you can access it and that it won't get wet and destroyed for when you need it, especially when we live in these times of weather. Having some cash, the old cash in the coffee can, having cash on hand is so important, because if there's an outage, power outage, in your area, guess what's not working? The ATM. Guess who's not open? The bank. Even if they were open, guess what they can't use? Their computers. So at the end of the day, having a coffee can, that's my mom, coffee can, money in it. Maybe you can put your passport in there and put that in the 1 gallon plastic bag, but get some cash. Any medications, all my puffers, whenever I get a prescription for them, I always get 2 of each. One that goes in the emergency kit and the ones that I keep with me. Why? Because in an emergency, the ones that I keep with me I might be at the end of my puffs in whatever it is, and having that extra one in my emergency kit could very well save my life. So make sure you have all your medications, high blood pressure medications, diabetes, all your insulins and things of that. Food, water, and clothing. So I was telling somebody, when the flood happened here, I went to my car, because I couldn't go downstairs with my regular shoes on, my nice shoes. But my boots were already in the trunk of the car. I had a pair of sneakers in the trunk of the car. And then I also have a pair of leggings and sweatpants. I have a sweatshirt, sweatpants, are all in the and it's in one of those carry things in the trunk of my car. There's water. There's a gallon of water in there. I have a first aid kit in there. I have 2 blankets. One blanket is like the astronaut blanket that I showed you a couple of years ago when I was at DMV, the astronaut one that folds down and looks like aluminum foil. And then the other is a blanket that I can wrap around that. I have a raincoat, one of those see-through cheap plastic raincoats. And that's in there because, it has a hood. Okay. I also have in there all my pet supplies. So Daisy has food in there. She has extra little, it's not big, so because this is an emergency time. She has a little bed, tiny little pillow thing, and a collapsible tent. So that if I have to put her, in a tent or something, and then of course a carry-all. So, and then one that slings across. So that is at the house, but I'm thinking about getting another one and putting it in there. It's a sling that when I take her and she gets tired, when we go hiking and stuff, I put her in the sling. So think about that. Her food, a little extra food, some of her toys, some bones, some of her treats that she likes, anything that will bring comfort to her and a little bit of normality, because I'm definitely grabbing her and taking her with me. So pet supplies are very important. You want to be prepared again for the potential power outage. Look at what's happening in my area. People just got their lights back yesterday. I was fortunate. I did not go without electricity, but like a block away from me, the whole street was all the way down to the highway. There was no lighting. And people, when you're driving and you see that the lights are out and they're not working, this is what I learned the other day, because some people just kept driving. No. You still obey the DMV rules of driving. You stop. You look to the left, you look to the wrong way, right, left. You look ahead of you. And then you also signal, please. And then you move out into the traffic. But people were just and then getting stuck in the middle, tooting their horns at everybody at 6:30 in the morning. It's like, calm the heck down. Obey the traffic rules, and we won't have all these accidents. The other thing is this. When we're having these torrential rains, I know the speed limit is 65, but I'm here to tell you, if you're going 65, when we're having rain coming down out of the sky like sheets, something is wrong. Something is wrong. If you really think you can drive at 65 miles an hour when the rain is coming down and there are puddles and you can hydroplane, all of that. Or someone else could hydroplane, and because you're going so fast, they can't avoid you. All these accidents, except for the ones where the tree falls in front of the cars and things that are like that. But the ones where people are speeding, I saw people speeding all around me, zipping in and out of traffic. And I'm like, really? So follow the rules when you're on the roads, particularly follow them all the time. Then you don't have to worry about it when it's raining, but particularly when it's raining and it's hazardous out there and your little joyride driving over the speed limit even might take somebody else's life, and you don't have the right to do that. So drive like it's raining out there. I was shocked by that. And I'm driving I think I got up to 55 the whole time home because it was dark. And again, I'm driving like driving Miss Daisy kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I am not going to be driving, 70 miles an hour in that kind of rain. It's not possible. Actually, I looked it up last night on Google, on the wonderful encyclopedia of Google. And no, a car will hydroplane when it's storming, and no matter what kind of tires you have, I found out. So be careful out there. The other you're going to need, some people say have a tank of gas. That frightens me. I wouldn't know where to store a tank of gas, but maybe you live in a home or area where you can do that. But they advise having a tank of gas, or if you have an electrical car, that your car is fully charged with an emergency pack. And I don't know what that means because I haven't purchased my electrical vehicle yet, soon to come, but haven't done it yet. Again, if you're using a generator, always keep it outside your home so that you can access it. You might want to get one of those. I saw them at Ace Hardware in my little city, and it was like this, and it was pretty big. It was like a trunk, and it was metal, and maybe get one of those with a lock on it and put it in your backyard, or, you know, if you live in an apartment and you have a patio, put it on your patio, but find a place that you can put it where you can get it. And if you live in an apartment building, maybe be the first one to say, folks, let's have a safety meeting on how we're going to get out of this multi-level building in the case of an emergency. I mean, we have to start thinking that way a little bit more and prepare ourselves. We can never prepare enough, and we'll always forget something. And there will always be something that happens as a result of natural weather and all of that, but we can prepare a little bit where the impact is not as significant. Check in with family and friends. Make sure you have the most important numbers on your cell phone in your contact area. And I also have a laminated card that's in that 1 gallon I want to say sandwich bag, but it's not, you know, it's like goes in your freezer, but it's like a sandwich bag. And I have in there all the contact numbers, you know, for my son, my daughter. When my brother was alive, he was on that list. And now it's his wife, my sister-in-law. And so those kinds of making sure that you have numbers that if you had to go into the hospital or somebody had to give you care, you have everything you need. I actually also have a copy of all of my medical cards. So it's not the actual card because it'll probably be with me, but I have copies of it. My dental, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Oh God, this tooth is making me nuts. Your dental card, your health card, your Kaiser, anything that you need, any extra prescription that maybe, dump it in there. You never know when you're going to need it. The other that we're looking at, go to Cal Alerts. So at that CALALERTS.org, and to sign up to receive emergency alerts. And that's a really good thing, to be able to receive emergency alerts. We do anyway, I think, for the most part, but if you sign up, it's guaranteed, and you will get the emergency alerts, and I believe it's on your phone. And that's good, because you need to know what's going on in your area. We've never in a million years thought, you know, that we would be having these types of rains. We were all praying and hoping for rain because we were in a drought in California, but it came down so massively, so quickly, that the dry ground and the systems that we had just could not accommodate it. And now we have people who are living without homes, and again, without jobs and support in some places. And FEMA can't move fast enough, and the federal dollars aren't moving fast enough. But it's because when something happens, we need to be prepared. So all we have to do is go push a button, or call somebody and say yes, instead of being in a state where we have to figure it all out. And I'm not speaking about the common person on the street. I'm talking about our legislative bodies and the folks around us that supervise our first alert systems and all of those kinds of things. I know they warned us about these rains, but you have to be more specific when you're speaking to us as a community out there. You need to tell us what to get, how to get it, and then you need to have access points within our community where people can go and get it. They did do well after a full cycle of rain with the sandbags, and make them available for people when you know that communities where people don't have access or can't get out of that community, take them into that community. Because there's no way they're going to get them. And many of them live in homes that are not like the homes in Danville and San Ramon, and they're more susceptible to damage. I sit on the board of Rebuilding Together, a wonderful organization here in Oakland, and I see homes that are standing up by their chinny chin chin. And then Rebuilding Together, we get a team of people to come out and help those individuals with their homes so they can stay in their homes, stay in the community that they helped build when they were able to work and put their tax dollars in the coffers of the state of California. But that said, They don't have the ability to go to these places to get sandbags, to get generators, to get things. So if you're someone out there that wants to support people who are living in their homes and have outlived their incomes and things of that nature, please get in contact with Rebuilding Together. We would love to put you on a project. We would love to spend your money if you'd like to donate it. And we would love to just tell you about ways that you can support people who are living in homes that cannot withstand these kind of storms, that they're even if their roof was put on, it probably has a leak in it somewhere, and they probably don't have the tarp. Ooh, I went real East Coast. The tarp, or whatever is needed to cover that roof. So let's figure out how we can help people stay in their homes even in these times. I know Nancy Redding is doing that. If you must drive, it says download the Caltrans Quick Map or visit quickmap.dot.ca.gov. So there's Quick Map, one word, capital Q, capital M, dot, and then the word .ca.gov. And that's to learn about minute-to-minute road traffic closures, chain controls, and more. That's really important because some of the roads got closed. I know I had to detour on Ignacio Valley Road one of the nights this week where they had closed off that one half of it. And I didn't even know the street that they sent us on a detour went through. So now I know I have a new way of getting home. So those things are important. CalAlerts.org. Write that down, put it on your phone so you have it. A power or outage, keep freezers and refrigerators closed. I think we all know that. Use a generator. We talked about that. Use them outdoors, and be careful. Be very, very careful if it's one of those gas generators. If it's one of an electric one like I have, you can use it in the home. I actually keep it plugged in so it's charged. And then sometimes I charge my phone on it because it's close. Oh gosh, Michelle. Do not use a gas stove or oven to heat your home. Why? Because it gives off all kinds of carbon monoxide, and it's not a good thing. And that's why, and it's also the possibility of fire when you do that. So do not use a gas stove or oven to heat your home. And open fires in homes don't work because they create fire in your home. Disconnect appliances and electronics to avoid damage from electrical surges. I have power surge thingies. Nothing is plugged into the wall at my house. I have that's stupid, Michelle. Yes, it is plugged into the wall, but I have a power surge thing on top of the plugs, and they're plugged into that so that we don't, have those power surges. And it also helps with your electricity, by the way. Let's see. Have alternate plans for refrigerating medications or using power-dependent medical devices. Now, this is a good one. In my refrigerator, what I have is I love sandwich bags, obviously. The smaller sandwich bags, filled them with water, put them in not to the top, by the way, because you don't want it to pop. You want to give it enough room to expand. And put them in the freezer. I have about 10 of them, along with other, freezer things that came with stuff. And then I have a little tiny styrofoam, cooler. And if that should happen, again, that's in the emergency kit, I will throw those in there and throw the medications for me, the minerals and vitamins and things that are liquid. I have liquid stuff because I hate pills, but I'll throw those in there so that they stay cool and until I can do something better, go somewhere and buy some ice or, just those kinds of things, just preparation so that you're prepared when things come. Let's talk about food storage. Have enough non-perishable stuff that you can, food, water, and these energy bars. You have to be careful because they're full of sugar. I'm realizing many of them. But energy bars, anything that won't, rot on you or go bad on you. And you know what I found? I love tuna fish. Put a couple of cans of tuna fish in there that have the flip on them, things like that, things that will help you to sustain your caloric intake, because you're going to need the energy, because you're going to be under stress. So have some food in there. Freeze-dried fruits are always wonderful. Nuts and things like that. Yeah, you probably don't want to eat like that, but it will keep you going. And I like noodles, the ramen noodles. So I don't use the little pack in it, but if you have a place, if you have a generator and you can heat water, then you could also eat that. So just little things that are non-perishable that you can sustain your life and your nutrition intake in case something happens where you can't go to the grocery store, or the grocery store is empty and doesn't have a lot in it. Like, it's starting to get better, but I know locally in my area, my grocery stores are missing a lot of stuff that I was able to purchase. And then things are so expensive. I couldn't believe it, that eggs were like $9 something a cart. I was just like, whoa, what are you talking about? The organic ones. Yeah, I was just like, whoa. So let's prepare for those things. So food storage is really, really important. Get alerts to know what to do. Sign up to get your county alerts. Again, CalAlerts.org. Felicia will put that in there so that everybody sees it. Go on there, watch videos. Make a plan to protect your people, your family, your dog, your pets, all of that. If you have fish, what happens to them? Do you leave them behind? Do you? I don't know, because I've had fish in the past, but don't have them now. Just really think into the future, because you're going to be, you want to decrease anxiety and stress around the situation. But if you're worried about your home, or you're worried about your pet, or you're worried about your friends and family, then the stress level goes up even higher, and your ability to make quick decisions in an emergency situation have been diminished by that worry. So let's plan. And particularly if you're a caregiver, because you have to plan for you and the person you're caring for. If you're a sandwich generation with children and an older adult that you're caring for, either in the home or across town, you need to prepare for both. And that way, preparation is the key. Okay, preparation is the key. And even if the plan doesn't cover everything, it's covered enough that you now have the energy to figure out what to do with the thing that you didn't cover or think about. And then you'll add it to the plan the next time. So you see how it works? And it does make life easier for you. Write down the names and contact information. We talked about that. And I love this one. And that's why my brother was on my list in the past. It always says, pick one person outside of your geographic area that you can contact and that will contact you. And they are the point of contact for everyone. We now have Facebook and all that. But again, you don't know. We don't know. Plan for the fact that the things that you're used to are not working, that they're not available, that you don't have access, and then you'll be prepared. Pack a bag that says we talked about that, pack a go bag with things you need and the essentials that you like. Put a book in there and something that will give you comfort, or a stuffed animal, or whatever it may be for you. Build a box that has some, again, it's a stay box. It's going to be where if you have to go to a shelter, live out of your car, whatever it may be. And then help your friends and neighbors get ready. Have a winter storm safety tip party and invite your neighbors and your friends. Have a glass of wine and pull together your organizing kits together. Turn this into not a drudgery thing, but a thing that is fun, and teach your children and make them, help them, invite them to be a part of it. If you have children, if you have grandchildren, whatever the situation, but always teach the children. And churches and places where people organize, This is something that's important. And these are the kinds of things that people want to hear from churches and Lions groups. And they want to hear how to navigate things in their world. So create those forums for people where they can learn about storm safety and keep themselves safe in a storm. So thank you so much for letting me into your home or wherever you are in the virtual neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey. I was remiss last week. I meant to do this, but I wanted you to know that my dear, 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 dear friend in Belgium, Liv, turned 3 years old. She is one of my BFFs. And so happy birthday, Miss Wonderful Princess of Apple of my Eye, Liv. I love you and happy birthday, and have a wonderful, wonderful, she already had her party. I saw her. She was magnificent, and she's my kind of female. So if you have time, wish her a happy birthday in the chat and let her know that she's loved all over the world, but particularly by her dear, dear friend, Micheal Pope. Happy birthday, Liv. I hope it was a great day for you and your family. And you know what? You get to celebrate all year round, girlfriend. So go ahead and do it. Love you much. So for all of you that are out there that are dealing with anxiety, depression, all of those things that bring us down and beat us up like anvils, and we begin to think that we don't want to live on this planet. Please, 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 before you make your final decision, dial or text 988. Why? Because that's the suicide hotline. And on the end of that text, on the end of that call, there will be somebody there that cares about you, that cares about your story, that will listen and try to understand and get you through this dark moment. Know that you are not alone. Many people experience these moments throughout their lives, but know that you matter and that calling that number will be life-changing for you. And you'll get to live another day to experience, hopefully, the joy of life. It won't be easy and it won't happen overnight. But if you call 988, if you text 988, you will get the help that you need. And know that all of us in the Life is a Sacred Journey family loves you. And we want you around because you matter. All right, folks, it's sunny out today in California. Rain is due back tomorrow afternoon, I think, all through Sunday and possibly into Monday. Get out today in the sun, take a little walk, go do some grocery shopping, or just go do some window shopping. Sing a song. Sing a song. Oh, please do that. Pet a cat, pet a dog, hug yourself. Oh. And know that you matter in the big scheme of things. And yes, we're just little microscopic little people running around the planet, but we matter. And if we lock hands in humanity, we can change this world now. And we don't have to wait for some pie in the sky dream and keep thinking in the future, in the future. The future is now. So let's do it for the kids. Let's do it for the next generations. And let's do it for ourselves. We enjoy to be happy. We deserve it. We deserve it. We're thinking about all the people in the Ukraine and other places that have been hit by war, famine, disease, and hatred. And we think about them in the light, the candle is lit for them. And for all of you who are experiencing grief through loss of friends, loved ones, pets, the candle is lit for you. Have a good weekend. Oh yeah, don't forget to hug a tree. Have a good weekend. And peace.